the first thing I want to explain is we've been talking about least common multiple, greatest common factor, all of these things. In math, all we ever do is try and go one step at a time. You build on the day from the day before. Well, we're going to convert our least common multiple lessons into adding and subtracting fractions. When you add and subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. So if you have a number like this, say it's 1/4 plus 3/4, that is very, very easy, because the denominator, or the bottom number, is the same. And it always stays the same, so our answer is going to be over 4, and all you do is add the numerators. 1 plus 3 is what? 4. And then we would look at that answer and we reduce it. And what is 4 over 4 reduced to 1? Okay. Very simple. Subtraction is the same. Let's say we have 5/12 minus 3/12. Somebody tell me, what is my denominator going to be in my answer? 12. Okay. And my numerator? 2. 2/12. Now, is that a good answer? Let's reduce it. What should it be reduced to? Divide top and bottom by 2. Divide by 2, and it comes up with 1 over 6. And there's my answer. When we have a common denominator, it is much, 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 much easier. Actually, that's what we have to have. When we get into multiplying and dividing fractions, actually multiplying and dividing fractions is easier, because you don't need a common denominator. You can skip that step. So we're actually going to do something harder right now than we're going to do a little bit later. And this isn't even that hard. So this thing says, the Pacific Ocean covers 1/3 of the Earth's surface. The Atlantic Ocean covers 1/5 of the Earth's surface. To find the fraction of the Earth's surface that is covered by both oceans, you can add 1/3 and 1/5, which are unlike fractions. Now, you guys are going to get the problem written, well, let me go to the next page. We have 1/3 plus 1/5. You're going to get problems on your homework that are written like that. Here's what I want you to do, and it's going to make things easier for you. Okay? When you write out these problems on your homework, which is something that you have to do, okay? When you do your homework, I want you to write it out like this. I want you to write 1/3 plus 1/5. I want you to write it out top to bottom. The reason for it is it's easier for you guys to do this. Make your little conversion. Okay? I know it looks silly, and I know that some of you are like, what? Why? I'm telling you, I've been doing this for enough years. It's easier for you to follow instead of trying to do it all the way across. Let's do it up and down like we started when we were in 1st and 2nd grade doing addition and subtraction on the top and bottom. Okay? Not that I'm saying you're 1st and 2nd graders, but I am saying it does make things easier. Now, 1/3 plus 1/5. We need a common denominator. Believe it or not, a common denominator for this is going to be what? 15. Did you guys know that 15 is the least common multiple between 3 and 5? That's why we did least common multiple. Because the least common multiple between your two denominators is always going to be your common denominator, or should be your common denominator. That's why we did it. So what do I have to multiply 3 by to get 15? 5. Whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 1 times 5 is 5. What do I have to do here? What do I have to multiply top and bottom by? Times 3 times 3. We end up with 3 over 15. I know that you guys have done this before, and I know that this is pretty much a review for you. Okay? But it's been a while since you've done it, so bear with me for a little bit. Then we just add this. 5 plus, our answer is going to be something over 15. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 over 15. And that's exactly what the answer would be. Mark made a pizza with pepperoni covering 1/4 of the pizza and onions, 1/4 of the pizza and onions covering another 1/3. What fraction of the pizza is covered by pepperoni and onions? I would like you to do this with me, along with me on your whiteboards. Everything that I do, I want you to do. Because this is an example of how I want you to do your homework. So first of all, we're going to take 1/4 and we're going to have 1/3. Are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? We are adding. So we're going to add these. 1/4 plus 1/3. What is the least common multiple between 3 and 4? 12. So our denominator for this is going to be 12. Our denominator for this one is going to be 12. What do I have to multiply 4 by to get 12? Times 3 here, times 3 here. We end up with a 3 here. What do we have to multiply 3 by to get 12? Times 4 here, times 4 here. We end up with 4 over 12. We take all of that, we add it together, and our answer is what? 7 over 12. And that's our answer right there. Now, you guys have done this along with me. Everything that you see here needs to be on your homework. Everything. If you do not have it on your homework and you do not have it written that way, I will not accept it as completed a homework assignment, and I will have you do it again to receive credit for having it done. Raise your hand if you understand what I just said. Okay, so then everybody understands. So when I come back tomorrow and I look at it, and if you don't have it written like that, I'm going to tell you to redo it. Yes? I would like you to do it, at least today. Okay? I know it's a pain. It's not that big a deal, though. It won't take you that long. Oh. On your whiteboards, I would like you to show me this one. What is my least common multiple? 3 and 2. So that's our denominator. 6 is our denominator. This is times 2. This is times 2. This is times 3. This is times 3. So we end up with 2, 3, 5 over 6 is our answer. 7/10 minus 3/8. I want you to try this one on your whiteboard. Remember, try and do it up and down. You have this problem right here. 7/10 minus 3/8. In order to subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. You need a number on the bottom that is the same for both 7/10 and 3/8. The common denominator is going to be your least common multiple between this number and this number. What is the least common multiple between 10 and 8? Is 40. 40 goes there, 40 goes there. In order to turn this 10 into a 40, you have to multiply it by how many? Times 4. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. 7 times 4 is 28. 8, to go from 8 to 40, what do I have to multiply by? 5. Times 5 there, times 5 there, this becomes a 15. Remember, it is a subtraction problem. Our answer is going to be something over 40. That looks like 46. Something over 40. 28 minus 15, we just take the numerators, or the top number. 28 minus 15 is 13. That's our answer. What did I multiply? I'm taking this 8 and I'm making it a 40. What do I have to multiply 8 by to get 40? Next one for you. Listen, if you guys, for some reason, struggle to figure out what the least common multiple is, do you remember from yesterday or the day before how to find it? Remember, all you got to do is this. 12 is 3 and 4, and then this is 2 and 2, and then 8 is 4 and 2 and 2 and 2. And make your little chart. You can go 8 and 12, and you can go 2, 2, 2. 12 is 2, 2, 3. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24. So I know 24 is my common denominator, so this will be 24. This will be 24. This is times 2, times 2. This is 22. This is times 3 is 9. Do my subtraction. 22 minus 9 is 13 over 24. Don't forget, you can still do this. It is, your common denominator should be your least common multiple. Let me tell you why. For the most part, if you do that and you get your answer, you're not going to have to reduce your answer. You might. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, and I won't tell you that you won't have to, but your odds of not having to are better is if you use the least common multiple. Let's try one more. So when you do all this, you come out with 7/16, which is great. What happens when you add all of this together and you end up with a problem that looks like this? You end up, let's just ignore this, but let's just say you come up with an answer that looks like this. What do I do in that situation? What is this what is this called? What is this called? This is called an improper fraction. How do you make an improper fraction a reduced a mixed number? I divide. This is the division problem. 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4. Remember this from before break? This top divided by bottom. Bottom's on the outside of the house. 4 goes into 5 one time, minus 4. I'm left with 1. That's my remainder. 1 over 4. That would have been my answer. Okay? Yes? That's what I just did. That's exactly what I just did. What happens if you have a number that's like this? You have to know that that's a division problem, okay? You have to know it's 321 divided by 247. That's why I do that, okay? That's why I want to show you that it is just it's nothing but a division problem, okay? So what I would like you to do for your homework is page 236, numbers 16 to 38 even.